I'm Sean Longevity with the New Old Heads podcast, and this is episode 486. This week we had multiple discussions about Drake, Iceman, the two other records that came out with it, if he's shown growth with these new releases, and a whole bunch of other commentary around it. We also talked about Black Milk, how algorithms are making it tough for indie artists, if there's a solution to it, and more. Support us and get the 2-hour uncut episode by becoming a $5 Patreon or YouTube member. And make sure you click the bell and turn on notifications. We will see you in the comments. Peace.
Check 1, 2. Episode number 486 of the New Old Heads is in your phones and coming through your speakers right now. And I have to go ahead and introduce some folks.
And yourself.
Oh, yes. My name is Jay Moore. And usually I don't do the intro. Actually, I've been doing it because kind of our good friend Major 7th has been on and off, taking care of adult business. I mean, like a business as an adult. Adult business sounded kind of nasty, but it's all good. All right, before I dig myself any deeper, J Diff, what's going on, sir?
Salutations. I'm great.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. And right next to him, brother to the night.
Salutations.
I mean, no, you can't use that.
Oh, God. Greetings.
All right, I guess so. Right next to me, Longevity. How are you doing, sir?
Great. Salutationals.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Everybody has salutations today.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
I mean, we're coming up on a holiday weekend, so you have to be in a good spirit.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been having salutations for 486 episodes.
Yeah.
man.
I just stole it today. I was feeling the vibe.
Feeling the
can dig it.
vibe.
Yeah,
At
that's
least
what-
you admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Inserted your Cliff's notes and site sorted
Mhm.
or site sourced and all that good stuff,
So Drake has returned by releasing his brand new Iceman, which has been long awaited, long promo. Everybody's been curious about what it's going to sound like for the most part. But he surprised everybody and dropped 2 additional albums, Maid of Honor and Habibti. There are references to BTS and shots at DJ Khaled, LeBron James, realistically even Kendrick and even Cole.
DeMar Rosen, Jay-Z.
There's a handful of them.
Yeah.
So we've all listened to it. Most of you watching have probably listened to it as well. So there's a handful of things that we're going to try to break down here. So the first question is, did Drake leave anything on the table in relations to either going more in depth or anything that necessarily we were kind of expecting with this massive rollout with Iceman? Did he cover everything for you, or did you want something more from him?
Just about. It was some stuff that I wish he just left alone.
Okay. And I guess this is in reference to Iceman, or do we want to talk
Iceman,
about?
yeah. All the other stuff, he didn't address none of that shit in there. That's just, the other records are just for the party. Iceman is him addressing everything that's transpired in the last 2 years.
Sure.
I thought it's a decent project. I've listened to it a couple of times. He gave me the growth that I was looking for from him. He gave me some of the depth that I was looking for from him. And sadly enough, I still wanted more. And that he addressed that.
Yeah, on one of the songs.
Yeah. But it was just an okay project to me, I can't say.
What was the growth you thought, though?
Like
The sprinkles in the first couple songs?
Yeah, the sprinkles of depth that he gave me. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just
For one song?
It wasn't just one song. You know what I mean?
He gave us most of it in the very beginning of the album.
And then
Pretty
maybe
much.
Free, the song Free.
Yeah, he tried there.
But I think that song is just the same as what Make Them Pay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's
a whole other thing.
it's the same thing. Make that Free song and Make Them Pay is the same shit.
I don't really. All right, so I didn't really see
It's the
any-
same thing, pretty much.
I can dig that. I can't say as I've seen any growth as far as leaving anything on the table. I feel like he addressed a lot of things that he should have addressed 2 years ago. This is like a project that was turned into for you to graduate. All your homies and graduated, and then here you come 2 years later after you've read everybody else's project and you got yours and you're turning it in and submitting. It's like everybody else already graduated and got a job. This is a good paper, but you was supposed to turn this shit in 2 years ago when everybody else did. And the reason why I bring that up is because when this was ignited initially, the beef itself, Drake stepped out after the song that Kendrick did with Future. he stepped out and dropped and was baiting Kendrick like, hey, it's been too long. You aren't responding.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick finally responded within 2 weeks. And then here we are now 2 years later. And then the last song that Drake did was pretty much I'm bowing out of this because I feel like you're not going to leave it alone. And if that's how you feel, you should have left it there. Now, he was talking his shit on there. I give him that. I kind of agree with there might be 1 or 2 songs on here where he actually went in depth as far as growth and things of that nature. He said there were no features on the first song. He already lied because there were features. He featured Future and Molly and then 21 Savage. Yeah.
I know Future did.
Future had a verse and Molly had, I mean, if you want to call it a verse, she had a verse. And then 21, he was just on the chorus.
Hated that.
Yeah. But I mean,
he was talking on there though.
That song is weak as shit to me. If I'm talking about anything that I didn't like, that's definitely the Ran Back to Atlanta I didn't like. That's
I hated Ran to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's definitely not growth because I mean you're addressing things that you should have addressed during the beef. It's like Kendrick said, you know what I'm saying, you run in Atlanta when you need a hit. Kind of took it and spun it, which is cool. But you should have spun it a long time ago, man. The relationships, he's mad at everybody on here. Nobody's his friend. These is rich people problems, I guess. This is what I really hate, though. I don't like the fact that with the Michael movie coming out and him using the glove as his record cover, that to me shows some childish shit because regardless of what streaming numbers and things of that says, you will never be on Mike's level. Nobody will ever be on Mike's level. I don't care how many streams, records you break or whatnot. You're not selling albums like they did back then. So that rubbed me the wrong way as far as
just imagery in comparison.
Yeah, I don't like that. But overall, I honestly
did he cover everything?
Did he cover everything
that you wanted him to?
I guess. I mean, he just covered it too many times. It was 8 songs, and it's like it was a repetitive situation where he talked about it a whole lot. And like I said, it's 2 years too late. You should have turned your paper in a long time ago.
Yeah.
This is the thing, you know, I listened to this on a whole bunch of levels. I'm like, okay, is he going to address some of the things that, you know, have been said about him or the things he's experienced in the past 2 years? Yes, he did that. I mean, yes, he talked to us about his father having cancer and a little bit of his family issues. I guess that's a little bit of growth, but, you know, Drake has always kind of given you those little peeks into his psyche, you know, and he would always do that at the beginning of his albums, like whether it be Fireworks or on his first project and Over My Dead Body on Take Care. Like he's done that before.
Tuscan Leather.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I appreciate when people try to actually be themselves as opposed to be the person, the celebrity version of who they are. But, you know, I don't think I could put it any better than Terry when he said, hey, man, you know, you should have told us this 2 years ago. You know, you coming to us now. It's not that we don't care, but we've essentially all moved on. Well, I mean, some people haven't.
I was about to say his fans haven't.
His fans haven't, you know, because they
need that redemption, man.
Yeah, they don't have their closure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Kendrick put out GNX, didn't say nothing about Drake. You know, he did, and they had the opportunity to put Not Like Us on that album and just play the numbers game, and they didn't do it. You know, so
it's not over.
And the thing is, just as an album, and this shit was kind of a chore to listen to. You know, I mean, it reminded me almost of like how sometimes Eminem's albums just aren't fun to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just kind of you get through them just so you can say, I like this, I like that. But, you know, after a certain amount of time, you're like, I'll probably never listen to that again. And that's how I honestly feel about the Iceman album. There's stuff on, the Maid of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's more upbeat.
You know, it was at least interesting. Like, I don't think Iceman was a particularly interesting album. Like, even in this, probably the places where it was trying to push itself into a more commercial space. In fact, I won't compare him to Eminem. I'll compare him to his mentor, Lil Wayne, to where it was like, okay, we got a project from Wayne. And
recent Wayne.
Yeah, and but I've been bored by Lil Wayne's projects for the last 5 or 6 years, and here I am with a Drake project, and this wasn't a particularly enjoyable album to listen to, and I really thought, well, maybe I'm just in a weird space as far as like Drake is concerned. But I went back and listened to like his earlier projects, and I was like, no, I still enjoy these. These were fun to listen to. There was something here that I could grasp.
Is that nostalgia?
I don't know if it's so much nostalgia, but it was like, okay, I can think about, this was clever, this was fun, this was whatever, even if I'm just saying, oh, that was a vibe. It's just a term I hate. I guess there's some vibey records here, but overall,
great production on there.
I didn't even, I mean, at certain points I was like, okay, is this the same song I listened to 3 songs ago?
Yeah.
So that was So
can I say something real quick?
Sure.
As a DJ, I think it was intentional, the Iceman being cold and everything being around the same BPM. You know what I mean? Because I'm listening to the rest of the records, everything is probably between 70 to 80 BPMs for the most part, with the exception of Too Hot for the Radio, which he said that Mustard hasn't had a song since him and YG. And
you
he
completely forgot about something.
And he made a beat that sounded just like Squabble Up. He's rapping on the beat that sounds just like Squabble Up.
Yeah, and he took Mac Dre's flow and things of that nature. But
aside from that song, everything was around the same BPM for the most part.
But then he had all like, I would listen to it, I was like, oh, here comes the beat switch. And I get it. I appreciate
predictable.
That. But it got to the point where like, okay, this isn't even hot anymore. So like I said, it became, it was a chore to listen to. Like I wanted to, where he was addressing people, okay, I kind of enjoyed that. But overall, like, I don't think I'm going to go back to this album now that we're, I wanted to have a concise and real opinion about it because I knew we were going to talk about it on the show. But I don't really see myself going back to much of this.
I think that's why I keep going back to it, because I'm trying to pull something from it. I'm trying to pull something from it. And like you said, as a DJ, it did stick around the same BPMs, but there really ain't no joints on there like this gonna make no party go crazy. I don't think.
I disagree.
Janice
is fire.
Yeah.
But because of how slow it is. Everything is in that same pocket.
But there are records that are slow that still go. I think Janice is going to go, and I think Shebang is going to go.
I don't
know. Do you think it's going to go over the records that are off of Maid of Honor?
Nah, because those were intentional.
Different settings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some off the Iceman. You can get some off, but I'm saying, like, if I'm thinking of like a party, huge ass party, like, you know what I'm saying, in Vegas or some shit like that.
That's what Made the Honors for.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that's gonna be for. But like, you can definitely sneak something in. That Janice is probably gonna have to get snuck in because that shit's fire. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't like nothing on this album, because, like, again, in my personal opinion, the beats on there are fire. Out of 18 songs, I think I'm rocking with like 6.
Okay.
So my initial thoughts when I put this on, I happened to be up when it dropped. My wife was playing a video game, and I was like, let me put this on, listen to this while you're playing this game. And after 4 records, I was like, after 3.5, I was like, okay, Drake might actually have something. I thought I liked the way he came out with it. It was very much a very kind of somber type of approach, kind of in a way, very much in a very particular sonic palette pocket. But he came out and addressed some things. I'm like, all right, cool. There's this song about addressing things. There it is, right? And then he followed it up with the next one. I'm like, all right, this is straight. There's a little beat switch, but it's like, all right, that's cool. Then the next one, I'm like, all right, cool. I like the beat. It's doing whatever. And then what's the next one? The next one was the one with the Janice.
Janice was
the next one.
Yeah.
Ran to Atlanta was the first one where I was like, oh, okay, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then from there, I didn't like Shebang. And then from there, it was just like, Make Them Pay, where the beat was fire, shouts to Overcast. And it's like, wait, I've already heard this. And then it was like the next record's like, okay, I heard it. Okay. And then I'm like, oh, this entire project's about not having friends. And every single song was like a repeat with a different beat and a different type of flip of it. And I think by like track like 15, I was at the point, I was like,
over it.
Well, it was just like, how many more, like everything kind of sounded the same, and the stuff that didn't sound the same sounded bad. So I was just like, I don't like that. There's a handful of them I just didn't like at all, which I didn't expect to like. But the fact that I did like some of them was kind of like, all right, that's cool. But the thing is like the records that I liked, they all sounded the same.
Right.
They all sounded the same. And I'm like, you could have just compacted this into one really good song, which, well, I mean, I guess, but then again, every one of those songs was like 5 minutes long. So it's like, Make Them Remember is 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Make Them Cry is 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Make Them Pray is 5 minutes. Firm Friends is 5 minutes and 2 minutes. Like, these are all like super, like, it's like he was trying to like work out of his emotions in a whole bunch of different types of ways around not having friends anymore.
Well, I don't think it's that I don't have any friends. It's I thought you was my friend.
Right.
And then you proved to me that you not my friend.
Which
So I
He
can't
said he
mess
didn't
with
want
you.
no new friends a long time ago.
So-
in return, he has no friends.
No new
Yeah.
friends.
This entire project is I don't have like all my friends that I thought were my friends are not my friends coded. That's like the entire theme of everything to me.
That goes back to Views. Ain't that how you started out Views?
I don't know.
It's repetitive.
I don't know, but it was like I feel like if this would have been a great EP with like 4 records, or 4 or 5 records, I think, or maybe a couple of those. But in general, like when it comes down to the question of like, did he give me what I wanted from Drake in this? Did he go as in depth that maybe I wanted? Did he tap into who he was? Nah, he kind of poked it a little bit. He said a couple lines, but nothing was connected. Nothing was. I mean, you could say the recurring pattern of all the make them whatever is kind of a theme in a way. Yeah, it's a very shallow theme. It's very finger deep, and so like
That's who he is, though.
He didn't resolve anything.
to my point
essentially.
is he did not give me the growth
Yeah.
that I wanted from him to want to listen to this more to dive into like, okay, Drake is different. And from the beginning, I was like, I thought that I was going to get that from him because he touched on some stuff that I was like, all right, cool. He's giving me a little bit of vulnerable in this. He actually said some stuff that like he got hurt by some of the stuff. Like his feelings were hurt.
That's the whole album.
I know, but the thing is he actually said it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know that he's this sensitive guy, right? But my problem with Drake a lot of times is like, if you're going to make he didn't say nobody's name.
Nobody.
Yeah, I agree
Not
with that.
one person's name.
Except for
like,
Khaled.
Yeah, he feels safe around Khaled.
And Ross.
Yeah, he said Ross.
Yeah, but it's always in a clever way.
Yeah.
It's never like,
It just said, hey, Drake.
yeah, I heard you like him young. Like it's nothing like that. It's always just like this subtle, sly, let me be kind of clever with it. And it's like, if you're going to talk, to Terry's point, if you're going to talk about this 2 years later and you want to address something, put it in a song, say names, do the thing because it's over with. That's the way that I feel about it. You can still be clever with the wordplay and stuff, which I thought he was really great with the wordplay. The clever, I think that's the one shiny
As long
thing.
as he wrote it.
Yeah, sure.
There was some corny stuff on there.
Yeah.
Sure, there was a lot of corny stuff on there. A lot
But
of
he
the
had
lines.
he had some nice lines on
Yeah.
it.
No, he had some. Yeah, I was
He had
like,
some
okay.
good stuff, and then he had some like
But then
little,
he had some stuff where I was like, come on, dog.
he had some Lil
You
Wayne
have 2
similes.
years to do this?
He had some Lil Wayne similes in there that were really corny. But in general, most of it was, I think that was the shining piece of everything and how he sounded. His delivery was kind of the same on pretty much everything for the most part, except for the times he switched it up. But like, he didn't really give me what I was really kind of looking for and hoping that he would give me so that I could look at him differently. He kind of gave me exactly what I expected.
Yeah, because that's what we're going to ask. Did he give you Drake, though?
He absolutely gave you
He
Drake.
gave me Drake in the sense of, yeah, of course.
Except he ain't crying about women on this one. He's
He
crying
gave me
about
Drake,
dudes.
but the thing is like, that has nothing to do.
I mean, am I wrong though?
Yeah, no, you're right.
He switched it to where
He put
he's
that
very
stuff on other
emotional.
projects.
That was on the
Yeah.
other records.
Yeah, he's emotional about all his guy friends on this one. And
I'm okay with that though. The thing is,
I'm cool with
the thing
it,
is
but-
like, I'm okay if you're gonna like be vulnerable in a real type of capacity. It just wasn't, I don't know. And to your point, Byron, I think this is who he is, and so it just further kind of solidified that this is Drake to me. And I feel like he kind of tapped his fingers in the water a little bit, just kind of see But he didn't jump in.
I mean, there was some stuff that he was saying that kind of made sense to me. You know what I mean? It was like, man, y'all keep saying that I'm fighting this dude Kendrick, man, but it's more than that. I'm fighting the entire industry.
Yeah, that's what he said. But
He's fighting the United States.
This is why I don't trust Drake, because he'll say some shit like that. He had songs talking about how him and Lucian were Batman and Robin, or Kobe and Shaq. And remember, he was in a $40 million deal or some shit like that. And talking about
500.
Was it that much? Well, I know it was a lot. Talking about why would I go independent? Because I got this good relationship over here. When 2 summers ago didn't go the way that he thought it was going to go, now you switched your tune because you thought that since I'm so cool with this dude, I guess at UMG, that they was going to back me. In real time, regardless of what you say as far as numbers and things like that was cloudy or somebody helped aid and assist, I was outside in real time and heard people playing these songs. This wasn't no bots riding around the city or you going to parties and every party is playing this Kendrick shit, man. This isn't made up. You know what I'm saying? That particular situation didn't go your route, and maybe you thought you were better friends with them, that they might have looked out for you because of that. Because if we paid attention to all the promo leading up to Iceman, Drake is in everybody's pocket because Complex didn't stop. Billboard didn't stop. Spotify lied about streaming numbers, gave him a record before, and it wasn't even broken. They put 2 songs together, and then once they got caught inflating his numbers, they're like, oh, we accidentally put 2 songs together, and that was the total. BTS still has it. So there's a lot of funny work going on there, but you were upset with Lucian and your situation because you didn't come out, and now you're saying that this isn't against a rapper, it's against another man or corporation or blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, you're very rich off of that situation.
And further from that, he's not going at, it's not him versus all these things. He is a rich, independent person, and he doesn't have to address any of this stuff if he doesn't want to. You know, and if he was more secure in his standing of what everything was, he wouldn't feel like he needs to make an 18-track project referencing all this stuff and making sneak disses and clever lines all over again. You would move on and make like new records like Janice Shut the F Up. Like you would do a whole bunch of stuff like that. And the stuff
but that was a slight towards the record company and whoever else too. But that was fired.
But you know, like, I don't know.
It's not man versus machine. It's machine versus machine.
Yeah, I don't really.
Touche.
I don't really. Yeah. I don't know. You are now listening or watching the New Old Heads podcast. Our official 1-hour episode is released every Saturday at noon Eastern, where we share our exclusive uncut 2-hour episode to our YouTube members and Patreon members early every Wednesday. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie City and Vinyl, Decademics, and Bringing Down the Band. And most importantly, you. You can support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads, where we embrace the new, respect the old, and remain ahead. Drake has been accused of, from Iceman and the other 2 projects, of ripping off a beat from 1900 Rugrat. And there was also another claim by another artist. I know Terry had it pulled up a second ago. I forget the name of him, but 1900 Rugrat had a whole video accusing, essentially, it was, the story goes, he was in contact with one of Drake's people, I think, or his producers, or one of his producers sent him something. They liked it. And Rugrat was like, nah, this is the intro to my album. I'm not going to use it. 2 years later, they slowed it down, kind of put it in a beat. And I forget which record it was. Little Birdie. But there was another video that came out with another person saying
Sonny Boy Fits,
and he put a comparison of his beat versus the other record, which I don't know what that one was either, but they sounded extremely identical.
So the first song that'll play is going to be Sonny Boy Fits, and then it's going to play the Drake version of what he ripped off.
Just a little more. Throw your waist in it now. What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Put your back in it. Put your back in it. What you waiting for?
Yeah, he stole that shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, whatever they say he did, he did
He
that.
the
did it.
notes are different, but
No, he
like on
did
the
that
bass.
shit.
But
He
that's
pretty much did the same thing on the what's the name? He just pitched them up.
Yeah. Now, granted, we don't know if this was a Drake producer thing or if this was a Drake himself thing, right? From that perspective.
Well, I
But,
will say that the one
They
that you
both
mentioned
ass.
before,
the Rugrat.
the Rugrat, when he has DMs of like Gordo, which is somebody is personally affiliated with Drake, going back and forth with him, and he has DMs from Drake saying like, I want to get you on something, blah blah blah, and them saying that they like that song, and him pretty much being like, nah, I don't want you to have that one,
Right.
and them taking it. Now, one of them people from Drake's camp admitted to actually redoing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, that's an interesting one too, because the two beats are different. Like it's almost like you hear somebody sample something, and then this is like when you see people in the comments, what's that sample? What's that sample?
the
Right?
Rugrat one wasn't a sample though. He created that himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's the same. It comes from the same place. So
Yeah,
somebody in the
yeah.
comment being like, "What's that sample?" and then they go and take that sample and make something from it, right? Which is why a lot of producers say F off. I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you the sample, and why I also say the same thing when you're that way in our comments doing the same stuff. No, that's sample snitching in a way. But I don't know. Do you believe this claim? I mean, obviously, I don't know what's to not believe, or is this just the perfect time to clout chase?
Nah, I believe it, and especially from listening to it, because you can hear it does the same change ups. It stays in the same
sample.
same sample, same concept,
Mm-hmm.
and he just changed a few things on these. So I mean,
The notes.
it's obvious, but like when you're going through
Same
the
instruments.
yeah, when you're going through the comments of these people that love Drake, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't hear that.
Which is kind of telling about his fan base, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, at least his hardcore fan base.
Yeah, that I mean, to me, it's kind of obvious. Just cut and dry to me.
So another question then, because I think it is kind of obvious. Should we start having conversations about the people around the artists who do this?
I know, because it'll be a never-ending conversation. I mean, it's just because Drake is the hottest person right now, and people are going over all of this shit with a microscope. I mean, you didn't have to really go over it with a microscope.
Not with these
that.
two.
No, not with these two. I don't know. Like, if those people say that they weren't paid and they're not being credited, then that's a problem. you
Especially
know?
when there's dialogue.
Yeah. Especially when there's a paper trail that leads you to them. That's a problem, And then so it's like, why wouldn't you? When you know someone's getting set up for a payday, why wouldn't you say something to me and we could go ahead and get this taken care of? It's not like it's not like Drake does not have the budget to clear these samples or get these clearances.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing that people think, that anybody associated with Drake would just think, okay, we're just such a juggernaut. We don't have to acknowledge these small people. And what are they really going to do? Well, they're going to get a lawyer. And
Hopefully.
and if
He
they
actually did a lot of that on these three projects. Like, there's a handful of records where, like, one, he sounds like Kodak Black. He's got the rip off from the fake Squabble Up. He's got the.
Well, you sound like Kodak Black on the Birdie song.
Yeah.
The one
On
that
the
he
same one.
snatched.
I
Yeah.
think that
Interesting.
could very well be Kodak Black song.
That's interesting. But that sample, Terry, you mentioned something when you said that actually wasn't even a sample. That was actually Rugrat's like melody or whatever.
Yeah, that was his beat.
Which if there is no sample and he played that from scratch and then they reinterpolated that without giving any credit, that is a lawsuit.
Yeah, that's stealing.
So
Complete stealing. And I see people like, oh, he should be happy that Drake used him, or somebody saying, oh, that's just the business. Like, I've seen somebody like a radio cat saying, oh, that's just the business. I don't really hear it. Y'all need to get for real, like, straight up. I mean, there's people that are doing this that don't have any money, especially not money like Drake, and you're sending them music and they're taking your shit and just sweeping you under the rug. That shit ain't gangster, man. That shit's fake as to me, especially to reach out and act like you about to work with this dude and then just take it.
doesn't this kind of go to the conversation too? Feels like age-old conversation with Drake that he doesn't have any new ideas.
Man. All right. So I'm going to take this off of Drake
Okay.
and say this is just not a Drake issue.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's been brought to the surface recently that, you know, Jay has done the exact same thing.
Sure, we
It's
talked
just
about it.
Big
Yeah.
dog gon' eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That
And
don't make it right.
it ain't right, but it's the game. You know what I mean? Like,
Timbaland did it.
yeah, they do. That's what they do. Big dogs, they see some, and then they'll talk to you. They ask if you, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, I'm not. You can say no.
Yeah. Hey, they are the Fleece Johnsons.
Well, I'm gonna just say, hopefully at the end of the day, it comes back to the same J conversation. I hope they had their paperwork right to where they're going to
Yeah.
get paid for this
Yeah.
shit, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, they hear your record. They say, I see it
And I
and I
want it.
want it. We can do this the easy way or the hard
Hard
way.
way.
The
They
choice
doing
is
it-
yours.
They doing it the easy way because they just taking it.
Yeah.
Hey, oh.
It's wrong. It is wrong. You know, and we've talked about this even on this show, even a couple weeks ago when Mike was talking about the Ryan Leslie situation with
Mhm.
him. So we're a little bit more sensitive to that than I think maybe, or maybe not sensitive, but I don't know.
Aware.
We're very aware of this,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
world, you know, and how it kind of recurs, you know what I mean? And so it's like, at what point, you know, I think even goes to the question, because Mike actually worded this question, should we start having this conversation about people around the artists who do this? It's like, what are the repercussions for this? You know, it just seems like it's just kind of thrown under the rug. Like, sure, we're talking about it right now, but we're going to move on from this. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, this is stealing. This
It's
is
an afterthought at the end of the day when it comes to the people actually that's consuming this music, and whether they care or not, because they don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you give them a bop and something they can listen to, 9 times out of 10, the consumer does not care where the
Hey.
beat came from, what it sounds like, as long as it's from their artist that they rock with, and if they can roll around and listen to it. They
Yeah.
don't care about the other artists.
Who was the lady that made Jailhouse Rock first?
don't know.
Sister Rosetta Thorpe, or was it Big Mama Thornton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that woman.
Yeah, Elvis stole a whole lot of
But
shit.
you know what?
Richard
This-
Thorpe.
This is where I will give Doja Cat some love, even though
Bitch, I'm a
she's
cow.
she's been known to show feet
Mhm.
racial chat rooms.
Yeah.
Is when she made her song that was on the Elvis soundtrack, you know, she didn't sample Elvis's version of Hound Dog.
Mm.
So she sampled the original.
Okay.
So hopefully somebody from that estate was able to
yeah.
get some money.
All right. Well,
Stop stealing.
stop stealing. It's not
Or at
cool.
least I mean, cut somebody a check or something, man.
I think that's the biggest thing that's just kind of frustrating about this happening on a regular basis. It's like it shows me one of two things. Either you have really poor business practices, right? Or you just feel like you're bigger than having to do it, which says something about you, or you're negligent about it, which also says something about you. And the fact that there's been multiple claims on one particular project also says something about you and your team, at least. It's just like, this should not be happening on a regular basis. And you're Drake, you know, you're whomever, you're the big person, you're Jay-Z in the situation. Like, it does not hurt you to give credit towards the people that you derived ideas from. And if anything else, you know, it makes you look like a good person.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I feel like the benefits of the relationship, maybe Drake is just so scorned from all his friends that left him that he's just
Listen,
like, you
man.
know what? I'm not making any new friends. I'm just stealing everybody's stuff from here on out.
this
I'll
also,
throw you a check later. Just
yeah,
whatever.
This also kind of adds to the idea that he's contradicting himself on this record. Again, he talked about that I'm not fighting a rapper, I'm fighting the man. In this situation, you are the man. You are the machine. Again, you know what I'm saying? This is Drake Enterprises at the end of the day. And you're stealing from somebody that's not on your level musically or contractually in the music business. So it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And essentially, that's what you claim everybody else is doing to you. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you guys see the White House thing?
I did.
Oh.
Besides it being extremely corny,
Scarface saying that it stood for white power. Y'all see that?
though, isn't it with the thing?
Yeah.
Which
With
I
him
think it
holding the
does.
MAGA chain.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Does the White House's strategy successful humanize the current administration for a younger demographic?
No.
Are you sure?
It makes them cool.
Does it?
It's their
Yeah,
attempt,
to-
it's their sad attempt at being cool. Like at this point, this administration, you're not going to be cool. You're not going to get invited to the cool kids table. You've done too much.
You say that as a 50-year-old black man.
This is true.
You know what I mean? To a 20-some-year-old Caucasian man.
Well, you know what? Because but you know what? Because they do have in their own way, because they're at the UFC fights. You know, they're their own version of cool. Like, I mean, sure, they had to shut down the Kennedy Center because nobody will come and perform for them. But you know, at this point, they know their bread and butter is the Kid Rocks and the
oh god,
what's the one dude who fought who goes and fights people
Who shot the builder?
no
Punk ass.
no, he's just a criminal.
Freaky boy.
No, I'm talking about the
brothers.
Jake Paul. Was that Jake Paul?
Jake.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's
sorry.
their way into cool. And
I miss when if somebody was listening to hip hop, you didn't have to question where their alliance lied. I miss that.
hey, Easy did have dinner with President Bush.
He did, and Ice Cube had something to say
It
about
didn't
it.
matter
Yeah, it didn't matter
at the time, but it
just being
unfortunately.
a fan of hip hop in general. At one point in time, you kind of aligned yourself with the culture
Struggle.
itself, and you know what I'm saying, identify with it. It meant something. It wasn't. It was cool to do, but it wasn't like the cool thing. It wasn't. Everybody was doing it. You know what I'm saying? You had your pocket of people that rock with it, and you had people that did something else. It wasn't as popular as it is now.
You know,
I kind of missed that.
Look, I just remember when, you know, there was a time where the rappers, it was like, look, we don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
These are all, look, I remember there was this commentator in St. Louis, his name is Onion Horton. And he said, look, you know, it doesn't matter who I vote for. I mean, he knew it mattered who he voted for, but it's like, now, mind you, this is the 90s, and you know, this is an old black man who you said his name is Onion Horton, so of course, and he just said, look, I know when I wake up the next morning, the president's going to be white, and there's things that he's going to take care of that have to deal with whiteness that have before he gets to me, even if he claims to care about me. And I think that's where at one point, look, I'm pretty sure Chuck D didn't rock with the Republican Party, but I'm pretty sure he didn't rock with the Democratic Party either.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, when you would hear like Paris and all those rappers who were down with well, I know that's a crazy one, but you know who he didn't rock with nobody.
Yeah.
But you know, when you talk about especially when hip hop was very much influenced by the 5% Nation, like we wasn't supposed to be rocking with no presidents anyway.
nah, man.
No, I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for dead presidents to represent me.
Yeah, I
That's
miss
it.
all of that. I miss when politicians and rappers didn't go together, and it wasn't fanfare. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
But rappers had no money then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
You
say,
know,
man.
Easy that's how you know he was getting some money, because he got invited based on the amount of money he made, not because of who he was.
Once hip hop got that huge influx of money, then everything changed, man.
Well, it also had something to do with. I mean, he went to the White House when Reagan was in, and a lot of the shit he was talking about was shit that
That was George
Reagan. Oh, that was George Bush. Never mind. But George Bush was in the office too, with Reagan,
Yeah, I remember.
which had a lot to do with Reaganomics, and Reaganomics was
Iran Contra. He was the vice president for that whole Iran Contra
yeah.
affair.
So I mean, it kind of goes together. I mean, you were
How much of this do you think is just the fact that you're older and more wise and you pay more attention to this stuff now, as
Bingo.
opposed to the fact that then maybe it was easier to kind of move aside?
I know Michael Jackson, the estate, Drake bought it, but part of me wanted Michael Jackson's people to come back and sue everybody. Get that off of there.
man.
Get that off your album cover. Get that off of White
He
House.
bought it.
Yeah, but he bought it, you know. So I don't know, man. Like, you're right. Part of it is because just older, and we've seen so much, and we've had our trust betrayed more than once.
Let me ask, how long do you think before we hear from the boogeyman?
I'm not even going to try to I don't know. I'm not convinced that he will reply.
I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I
he
think
is.
he will.
You think
I'm
so?
almost
Yeah.
certain he is.
Yeah, because I feel like he poked at him a little too much on this album.
And I left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kendrick left it alone. He could put
said-
the diss out.
What else can Kendrick even say?
Oh,
he
there's
had-
plenty more he could say.
Remember the last joint that he dropped before Not Like Us? He said he had a whole lot of shit
Mhm.
lined up.
He said he had 5
and then
more.
I think was Stat Quo
Mhm.
said on what's the podcast?
Culture United.
Not Culture United, the other one. The
Third
one
verse.
with Third Verse. I think he stated that he had a whole lot more shit to get off his chest as far as in reference to him. So he was cool with the beef going on because he wanted to hear more stuff. But I don't know if he's gonna get personal like that, but I feel like this is not over in Kendrick's eyes. There's no way that he lets him get this shit off and he's not gonna say nothing about it. He might not say, "Hey Drake," you know what I'm saying, but he's
I don't
definitely going to say
I
something.
don't know what else he can really say. Like, I mean, from the perspective of like where we're at. I mean, obviously, some people really like rap battles and like rap battle records, right? But I guess from the perspective of like, what else can he really say? Because he's already destroyed him. And from my eyes and from most of our eyes, there's not really much more Kendrick can do to really push him more down in the ground. And it's not going to affect Drake at all anyways.
Nah,
You know, so unless you're going
but
to...
I didn't think it would though. Did y'all think that this would affect Drake?
I think it did affect Drake from the perspective of it kind of... It put a divide. It put people... Maybe not anything like monetarily or anything like that, but the battle highlighted what many people had already... maybe formalized in their heads, or what many of it's the no Aubreyism. It's like the people like me, people like Shasta Ill Brown, who made T-shirts called No Aubreyism 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it's Sean Price. You know, like it a lot of the people that had
DMX.
a lot of the people that had these Most Def Yasin, but you know, like
Yeah.
a lot of these people that had these things, it helped people kind of like really draw the line in the sand. Like, no, this is the type of artist that I don't with.
Yeah.
And I think from that perspective, I don't know if Kendrick can. Drake's fans are like MAGAs at this point. We expect when you present people with enough evidence and enough stuff that people are going to look at it and be like, you know what, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not how the world works, and that's not how people work. And so I don't know what more else he can do to not like beat it into the ground like the same thing.
Get that timestamp because that is definitely a clip.
yeah. Yes, people been saying that though. It definitely coincides with that group of people because there's nothing that you can say that's going to deter them from thinking and rocking with whatever they decide.
It's Drake indoctrination syndrome. You know, it's like
it definitely is,
diss.
man. It's like I don't know,
a bar.
but I think from just a hip hop, a rap,
You just want to beat him up again?
it ain't even got to be the same way. It's there's no way I feel like that Kendrick is going to let him get
Gotcha.
out here and say this and not address it.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with why he was laughing. It's like, okay, this is what you got. Don't make me have to come back outside on this shit.
And I spared you. I shut up. I ain't said nothing in 2 years.
Yeah, I ain't
I
saying
ain't done no interviews. I left it alone.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
other
we
than
could-
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
He did say A minor in front of
not
150
like
million
us.
people.
Not Like Us was one of the hottest songs, if not the best rap diss song that's ever been released.
And
As
people
far
wanted
as the
to see
impact, yeah, people wanted to see it. He had to perform that.
Yeah.
GNX was not about Drake.
Not at all.
It was him taking that moment of him having that situation with Drake and capitalizing on it. He didn't address Drake on that project
He
at all.
might have said
A
some
little
things they
bit, but
could.
it wasn't like
I think it was adjacent. I
Yeah,
don't think it was
yeah.
direct. Kind of like a Drake diss.
yeah.
It was more to me. It was more like a celebration.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it felt like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah. I can dig
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no pun intended, but that was a victory lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, for sure.
It's like, yeah, I did what I came to do. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, he's definitely going to say something.
Black Milk dropped a new album called Ceremonial.
Mm-hmm.
Black Milk is one of my favorite producers. Been following him for a very long time. I feel like he's become a better MC throughout the years as well,
Yeah, it certainly has.
and a great songwriter. So I was talking to one of my students yesterday, and we were talking about production stuff or something, and Black Milk came up. So I just went to his Bandcamp to show him, and I was like, oh, Black Milk dropped an album. I didn't even know he dropped an album, and I'm a Black Milk fan. He's one of my favorite producers. And it started to make me think, like with all the hoopla around Drake, his new album, lead up to it, then how the algorithms push everything. How do we feel about not knowing when some of our favorite artists drop stuff or are engaging and maybe have their own type of rollouts, but because we're in a particular algorithmic pocket, we don't see much about it. And now here we are spending an hour and a half talking about Drake when sure, some of the music is good, but some of this other music is something we actually care about and it is actually really good and kind of like groundbreaking in a particular type of way. We don't even talk about it, don't even really see it sometimes.
No, I think that's one of the saddest parts about modern hip hop is that, we spend a certain amount of time. It's kind of like the analogy I made about how, if you're a teacher and you spend so much time dealing with the student who's standing on his desk and eating crayons that you don't realize that there's a second grader over here who's painting the Mona Lisa and another kid over in the corner who's doing algebra problems. And that's unfortunately what happens. There's so much oxygen that's taken up by a few people that, we wind up either ignoring or not even knowing about. Luckily, there's I saw the video of AZ and Nas on the Tonight Show, where I would have known there was another version of Do or Die that came out.
Yep.
That wasn't even in my discovery on Tidal, where I listened to all of my music. And so, like, I think it's sad because we're really at the mercy of the algorithm. And if for whatever reason the algorithm doesn't push something that we love, or into our faces, then we have to hear about it almost secondhand, or we wind up hearing about it late. It'd be way better if I'd have known about the Do it, so I could at least rent it the week it came out. So maybe, like I said, when you listen to something one time, it only affects it so much, but it would have been something. And AZ is an artist that I still very much appreciate.
Yeah, I immediately bought the Black Milk album on Bandcamp. Like, I was like, damn, I didn't even know it. Let me just buy it. Partly for that reason. It was just like, okay, let me amplify this a little bit more, even though it's not an algorithm on Bandcamp, but still, it was like,
but at the same time,
I felt bad. It's like, I should know this.
It's the same reason why, I bought the De La Soul album and I bought the Clips album, because my going and buying that piece of vinyl means a lot more than me just sitting and listening to it when I have some time.
Sure.
Again, this goes back to Drake being in a position to where he's not just a man. He is part of the machine. The machine works in his favor. And we see that in real time because, again, we didn't know I actually listened to the Black Milk about a week ago. I think it came out that prior Friday. So I listened to it before the Drake came out. But like things like that, it gets lost because they're not behind these machines to help push this toward the people who actually rock with them. Again, the algorithms can formulate themselves based off of, okay, even leading up to the week of something else coming out. It's going to change a lot of the things that are coming up. A lot of your posts are going to look the exact same. But if Black Milk isn't, very vocal on social media, essentially, if he's not saying it himself and he's relying on his Bandcamp people to just rock with him, that's a problem too. I also seen we're talking about Black Milk, but Lizzo was talking about how the algorithm is not really boosting what she's doing right now, and that she was there's videos of her hanging up posters herself because nobody knows that she has an album coming out. Yeah. So, this is all part of the machine itself and being tied to a record label. These are the benefits of being part of a record label and having somebody help push your stuff, because without that, unfortunately, you get lost in the sauce when all of these other albums start coming out that aren't deemed chart worthy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not considered pop music.
Or trending topics to talk about.
Right. It's not going to make it to the forefront of the audience, unfortunately. So, I mean, that's something to talk about as far as why it's important to stay visual on social media if you don't have a machine that's backing you. Because otherwise you're going to disappear.
The thing is, the thing that's crazy, so even Threads, and I'll let you chime in, but Threads, so I don't know if you are on Threads at all, but it shows you, I have 224,000 recent views on my profile, which is a lot from some random threads. I've been posting videos of the, with commentary on all the songs that I've been put out on the project. 4 views, 6, you know,
because you're not paying for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I put a slot post out there about some random shit. It just blows up. You know what I mean? But anything that you try to promote yourself that isn't aligned with whatever a trending topic is, that's going to keep somebody on the platform in that particular type of way. They don't care about it. They don't push it.
Look, if I post a picture or a flyer and something has words of a time or, you know, to get 12, if I post a picture of like, look at this dog.
Yeah. What do you think needs to potentially change or what could change the tides so that, you know, for us to maybe not miss out on the great music that we want to hear? You know, like I think about everybody sitting at this table. We are people that go and look for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing that kind of like threw me off yesterday is that I was literally, I take time every week to, obviously I'm bringing down the band. I do community posts where I share new music that's dropped, one a day. I had no idea this dropped. And I feel like I stay in the now as much as possible. But if I miss a week, then it's like, damn, I missed an entire cycle. And now I don't see anything, right?
I just look at the releases on Friday.
Cycles. Yeah, that's how I found it. Yeah. I looked on because I got I'm on YouTube Premium. And like I also give you YouTube Music and it popped up. Yeah. And new music for that week. So like they just did that with me this week with Devin Morris. And he just dropped a new song.
Oh, word? Yeah. See, once again,
is it longer than 20 seconds?
Yeah, it is.
His records are like 42 seconds long.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like the conversation that I was having, like, do you think that there is either a desire or a necessity for like a blog-esque movement to research?
Yeah.
I really think there is because
to even like play the field to kind of battle this algorithm is kind of similar.
No, because you can go to your you can go to the algorithm. Like
that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's because that's what made the blog era so special. If I went to Two Dope Boys or Bringing Down the Band, you know, I knew, okay, this is going to be the music that I enjoy. You know, I'm not going to have to sift through. I mean, you still got to sift through things, you know, but it's different than what the algorithm has pushed to me is like, oh, okay, luckily it pushed that performance on the Tonight Show by AZ, but because it's drawing from so many other things, like, it's also going to bring me the new whatever girl rapper singing about ass. It also brought me that.
Sure.
And it'll probably bring me that before because that has some money behind it.
Yeah.
As opposed to letting me know that Do or Die 3 is out.
Well, let me ask you, according to your algorithm.
I mean, yeah.
Do you like looking at ass?
It's not up for debate.
Okay, yeah. So that's why
I've been very honest about that on this show. But, you know, as far as music is concerned, like,
they go hand in hand.
I mean, but at the same time, the music that I listen to through YouTube,
like you're not gonna see somebody shaking ass to Little Brother.
No.
Yeah.
Depends where you're at.
Maybe. But also I realize
you could honestly see somebody shaking ass, throwing ass to loving it.
Maybe not loving it, but they got records kind of like that.
I can see somebody throwing ass to Good Clothes.
They got a song called Shake It.
Okay. I love Little Brother.
Hey man, we look, me and you shout out
them joints.
Rest in peace to my man DJ Too Deep. We used to play Good Clothes at Tiki Bob's.
I love Good Clothes.
We would sneak those records in.
I think it's a common misconception that you only have to throw ass to a certain type of music.
Yes, and it's hard to envision somebody throwing ass to Good Clothes. I love the record. To me, Good Clothes is a record to put on.
I don't think somebody's gonna throw ass to Tigolo for Dolo. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not gonna throw ass to All For You or whatever.
But I think there's they probably got a couple of them that aren't about their fathers and shit.
The beginning?
Damn.
Yeah.
You gonna throw ass to the beginning?
I don't see.
Hey man. Throwing ass on
Midnight Maneuvers?
Maybe.
I don't know,
You know,
man.
throwing ass in the car.
Think you asking the wrong people.
Yeah.
You'd have to take this to your local gentleman's club
Yeah.
and ask them, is there a song on this soundtrack that you would like
It
to
sounds
throw
like
your
a great
ass to?
business model to me. You
Like-
know, like
I love good
songs
clothes.
that you wouldn't think people would throw
throw
ass to.
Yeah.
but you can
People-
throw ass
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
you can milk anything with nipples.
Yeah, man.
See,
Hey, make a shirt to say "throw ass to this."
Mm-hmm.
hey
don't know,
man,
I-
like we for quick memory, you know, we fooled them and it was throwing a little ass to hip hop by Dead Prez.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the melody in that is also a bass. So, but it's a little different though.
Maybe I don't. I can.
That's a bass.
I remember it vividly. I don't know if it was a lot of ass throwing that day back then,
I
but
remember
it was a lot of titty shaking.
All I know is I remember being
more than
when I
this.
first got here and somebody snuck in Dead Prez at the government.
Oh, okay.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it's throwing
And
ass
this
to
and this
it.
was the summer of TM 101
Yeah.
and the Hustle and Flow soundtrack. At one point, those are the only two records you need to play in the club.
So hold on,
For real.
let's pull this back real
Yeah,
quick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, we get to talk about throwing ass and it just
Do
gets
you
off the
think-
rails.
What would be a realistic way? Do you think, especially because of how people consume? Do you think if that there's is a really good way for people? Like, is there a desire for like a blog style esque type curation, like people to curate stuff? And if so, like, what does that look like now?
I think it is because essentially that's all the playlist is. You know what I mean? These Rap Caviar, etc. Those are quote unquote blogs,
Kind of.
but they are more payola than anything. And kind of the blogs turned into that eventually because
I tried to turn it into YouTube. I tried to, but I got too much pushback.
mhm.
Like I tried to like upload records that people liked, and my thinking was, well, the artists are going to monetize this anyway, so they're going to get paid from it. It's a win. I build an audience, they get paid from it, right?
Mhm.
But there's just too much pushback from it. I feel like a lot of these platforms don't do enough for people that do want to act in like a curatorial role, and they kind of like push away from it in a way that doesn't really kind of benefit the person that's doing the curating, because it's either they're going to strip all the money from it, or you got to just do it for the love. And you know,
I think that's what Instagram is now, kind of.
is it?
Because there's a couple people that I follow that turn me on to a couple records that I wasn't hip to, and they do this
That's
frequently.
fair.
You know what I mean?
There are some people that do go to Instagram and just make like play shorts. You see them do short form stuff
Yep.
sometimes
and
too.
they tell you like these are the records that came out this week that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those pages like that.
I've tried it. Maybe I'm just not successful in that particular type of way, because I've tried doing that and I never get. I'll bring back the turn off your radio videos for a while. Man, nobody checks those out. So
Yeah,
it's just
it
like,
almost becomes a labor of love and throwing too much on your plate, doing too much. But I mean, I don't feel like, I don't think people will go to one site to check out everything anymore.
I don't think so either.
I feel
think
like
some of us would.
some of us would, but as a majority, I think people rely on, again, like you said, Instagram, social media, and just whatever Apple Music and YouTube Music tells you was hot or what just came out. I think people rely on that.
I think it's got to be if it is going to be a thing, I think it's got to be a person. It's got to be like somebody that people trust, that people go to. It can't just be like an entity. It's got to be like, now I'm going to go check out Jackson's playlist because I like Jackson and I like I like his music taste and I like the things that he does, and I also like his personality. It's like the entire medium. It's like, you know.
So you're creating a video jockey, essentially. So you're taking some of the old and spinning it to a new version of things for people to check out. I mean, which would still embody blog-esque type of situation, but
if you could do it on a platform that potentially could be beneficial, I think if YouTube allowed for creators to, like, that fair use, for example, like let's say, bringing down the band, let's say I uploaded Mike's new record, and within that we could do splits within everybody that watches it. So Mike gets, let's say, 70% of whatever the ad revenue is from that percentage, and then the 30% goes to me for uploading that video. that seems kind of equitable. Seems like something that could, and that potentially could influence people to do it. But then you got like, there's a whole bunch of issues around that as well too. But I don't know. I don't know the solution. But
I don't either. I think it kind
but I
of.
feel like we're missing.
There's
that.
a market there.
I think
we're missing it. I think.
I think it boils down to, like you were saying, as far as artists not really respecting somebody that's uploading their music, and they're also getting compensated for it. I think that's where the issue runs into. Like, remember a while ago, I was thinking about trying to create a music video show, essentially, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, it won't benefit me at all because I can't monetize that. Yeah. There's no way that I can get money for showing videos of other artists, even though I'm acting as a personality on this show. I'm not going to do I'm not going to benefit from that at all. So there's no point in doing it. And then the artist is going to benefit, but they'll still give you a strike for sharing their stuff. So it's like, it damn near is a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I thought of that based around Black Milk's new project, which is called Ceremonial. So make sure you go check that out. He's got vinyl.
Thank you for checking out episode 486 of the New Old Heads podcast. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Patreon. We have a whole list of things you can get involved with. Hit the bell. All that good stuff.
See you later.
Holla.